Alright, so I want to talk about the next upcoming Incredible Hulk series coming in October, written by Jason Aaron and art by Mark Silvestri, or however you pronounce his name. Now, first off, the plotline for their first story arc seems like that's been done before. It feels like, apparently, that the Hulk and Banner are going to be separated again, because they've been separated in the past so many times. And Hulk's going to be away, he's found peace and he just wants to be left alone, while Banner's gone insane and he's apparently become a supervillain. I think that's been taken... Well, actually, no, the Banner insane part, not so much, but it'd be interesting to see Bruce Banner as a villain, but the Hulk separation thing has been done before a lot. But I'm interested. I mean, this is the first. Jason Aaron has said that he's wanted to write the Hulk. Sometimes he's sometimes said that he's always wanted to write the Hulk. I'm not hating on the idea, but I kind of wish that instead of just renumbering it back to number 1, I kind of wish they would just continue, with a Hulk run in, follow after Greg Pak and keep going with 600 and something. Rather than just go all the way back to run. It feels like they're doing that a lot now. Whenever they have a new writer and artist on the book, it feels like, oh, we're going back to number 1. That's what they did with Daredevil. I mean, I don't really see the problem was I know Daredevil was renumbered to 500, but they could have kept going. I mean, they could have gone back to, they could have given it back from Black Panther back to Daredevil and kept going from 500 on. And they're doing it also with Uncanny X-Men, going, with 544, ending it, and then 2 months later going back to number 1. I feel like, what is the big problem with, keep going with, it's called a run, rather than, because it seems like it's doing a trend now, going back to number 1. Where is the big problem of putting a new team and on the book? Like, I mean, they still do that from time to time, but it feels like it's becoming a trend more often. That instead of just keep going where the last guy left off, you have to renumber the whole book. Which I don't understand, but I'm not totally hating on the idea. I just wanted to get that out of the way, because it feels like it's becoming more and more of a trend in Marvel Comics. And DC as well, but I don't want to talk about that. Well, the relaunch is what I meant when I was talking about DC and the renumbering. But Marvel's more of a criminal of it. But it's not that I'm hating on the idea. I actually want to see Jason Aaron, what he does with the Hulk, but I have this feeling that he's just going to make Hulk an uber-violent character, which, I know Hulk is capable of violence, but he's also supposed to be a fun character, He's, he's a guy who turns into a 6 foot, an 8 or 9 foot green super strong giant. And I have enjoyed what Greg Pak has done with the book. And I'm not going to hate on Jason Aaron. He's done some good stuff. I've actually read some of his issues of Wolverine. He actually makes Wolverine, instead of the, me Wolverine, Wolverine's unkillable and all that. No, he makes Wolverine a cool character again. And I actually read some of his Ghost Rider stuff. Now, I know his Ghost Rider stuff is kind of, apparently taboo, but it's alright. I'm not saying it's the greatest thing. I still say his Wolverine stuff is actually pretty cool. And his Punisher Max is not that bad. But his Ghost Rider stuff is okay, in my opinion. I'm curious, because he's actually... Jason Aaron's getting out there as a writer. And it's interesting how he's going to tackle the Hulk. And he's becoming a big name in Marvel Comics. Like, people are really starting to like Jason Aaron. He's kind of getting that name of, getting that good he's not only a good writer, but he knows when to balance out characterization and violence. I gotta give him major props for that. When to be bloody and when to tell its story. So, maybe he can pull it off. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do with the Hulk. Now, Mark Silvestri on the art. As Duke Loops 1993 said with Real Manos, this isn't gonna last long. That dude has Top Cow Comics. He's more I know he's I actually love his artwork on the Hulk. He's probably one of my favorite Hulk artists. But the problem is that his artwork takes too long to write. But however, you gotta give him credit, because unlike Todd McFarlane and some other artists, the problem with this is that he has Top Cow Comics to run. He he's one of the big COs in Top Cow. So you got to give him a pass for that. So I don't know how long he'll be on the book. There's a joke, actually. Duke Loops had a joke on his show saying that it's only going to last about 2 or 3 issues before they change artists. Now, personally, if I could pick an artist to go with Jason Aaron, I'd have to go with Dale Crone. For those who don't know, Dale Crone was the artist of the Incredible Hulk back in the early 90s through 2000. Not early 19. I want to say early 1990s to the mid 90s. He was actually he's actually my number 1 Hulk artist. He really puts a lot of detail into the Hulk, and that's actually where he got his big name. He got his name big was doing art for the Incredible Hulk. So I'd like to see him come back. He's a really good artist. It looks kind of digital, but you know his artwork on the Hulk is just fantastic. I really dug that. I'd also like to see Mike Deodato. I'd also have Deodato and Jason Aaron on a book. That would be win for me. So, and Mike Deodato, I think if I recall, he did the Bruce Jones run he did the artwork for Bruce Jones's run for about the first 3 volumes. I could be wrong about that, or it was his entire run. I can't remember. But all in all, I'm going to give this book a shot because Hulk is my favorite Marvel hero. I'm not not Deadpool, can you believe it? But yeah, Hulk is my favorite Marvel hero, and, I can't hate on it. I'm just kind of interested, because it seems like they're rehashing a plot that's been done to death in the Incredible Hulk books. But but I find it interesting that they're going to go with making Banner apparently a villain from what I got from that trailer. And, I do, and, as long as Mark Silvestri's on the artwork, since I don't know how long he's going to be on the book as artist, but seeing him on Hulk again, doing artwork on the Hulk is just win. And Jason Aaron, like I said, he's getting a big name in the Marvel books. So I would really like to see how he writes Hulk and Banner. So more or less, I'm not hating on the idea. I'm just curious. There's the better word. Curious of how they're going to tackle this. But all in all, there's more or less my thoughts. You guys tell me what you think of Jason Aaron on the book, and what do you think of all this renumbering stuff? Do you think they should have just stuck with kept going after Greg Pak rather than renumber it, or what? Anyway, I'm out.